Hello, hi, long time no see. NaNoWriMo has come and gone, and I have not put out a single video about it, so here is the NaNoWriMo vlog. This is the whole thing, from Preptober to November 30th. Let's do it. Hello, I'm Sophie welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another vlog that I didn't film enough to split it up into parts, and also didn't update regularly like this, so Recap Me is here to do that for her. This time we are covering NaNoWriMo, the biggest writing event of the year. Long story short, I did not hit the 50k. Who's surprised? But I am quite happy with where I am, but we'll get into that later. First, let's start with Preptober, because I didn't even upload a video about that either, so she's in here too. So, if you were unaware, my project for this month was Project Moss, which is book 2 in the Project What trilogy. If you were here last year, you would know I tried to write this book then as well. That did not go well. That barely happened, mostly because I was changing Project What a ton, which meant I couldn't really set up book 2 very well, and that left me with like the saddest bare bones outline for book 2 that I just could not work off of. So, you know, that one got flushed down the toilet real quick. But this time around, however, I had a much better idea of what I was doing. First of all, because I was able to patch up book 1 very well. I not to toot my own horn, but like it's definitely at a point where I can say that I won't have to do like any major story changes anymore that'll like completely mess up the whole timeline. And then because of that, I actually knew what I could do with book 2 and the consequences that I would need to have in book 2. So I got to really dig into those, as well as like world building for the story and all that good stuff. Everything was so much more in depth than when I tried to write it last year, and it's a lot better. I don't know if I've talked about this in another vlog, but I have a digital notebook for this project right now, because it was a lot of brainstorming, it was a lot of just spilling ideas onto the page. So I want to do a digital notebook so I could move things around and not cry when it looked ugly. But you'll probably see it in the clips too. Here she is. There's a lot. It's 24 pages. So 24 pages of like everything. A lot of world building, some outlining, some character stuff, because I think I said this in the goals video, but I added 2 new character perspectives in this book. I had to figure out how to do that. So there's some character stuff in there, mostly world building, and some like mystery solving things that the characters go through in this book. But because it was so much information, world building and this step, the Preptober step, took forever. Because every time I would work on something, I would find something else that I wanted to flesh out, and then it just never ended. At least it felt like it would never end. Of course it ended because we're here, but at the moment, it felt like I could world build forever, for life. And because of that, I didn't have my outline complete until November 2nd. Cute. All of the information was in the world building, but I had to put it in order. I had to put it in order to make sense with the story, but I did end up finishing it on the 2nd, which meant I could start writing on the 2nd. But you know, I missed day 1, which is like, you know, you gotta start strong, and I didn't start because I couldn't. But whatever, it doesn't matter. It's okay. We got it done on the 2nd day. And you're probably seeing right now my Instagram story, because like I've said in other videos, I use my Instagram story like an accountability buddy, because it keeps me on track. Because if I know that people are seeing that I'm working on something and that they'll take notice if I don't update, like we can't let that happen. So it's my accountability buddy in real time to get stuff done. And, you know, because I do month-long recaps now, apparently, you can definitely get more punctual updates from me if you follow me on Instagram. Link below. Shameless plug. You go follow me there. Yeah. Anyways, November 2nd, I finally started writing this novel for the 2nd time, but better. I cannot tell you how excited I was to start writing this book. The relationship dynamics that I had set up at the end of book 1 are coming into fruition. They're really coming to the forefront in book 2, and I am so excited. I can't wait to fully write out these dynamics, because it's just the way that I was able to tie it up, I think it's really cool. Anyways, and I mean, of course, I'm like ready to explore this world a little more, progress further. Obviously, I want book 2 done, but like those relationship dynamics, it is like the one thing holding this all together right now. And I wish I could say more. I wish I could tell you, but the relationships that I set up for book 2 are right at the end of book 1, almost, like literally in act 3. And I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. And I can't even say it for people who have beta read for me, because it's completely different. It's completely different from when I got beta readers last. But perhaps I overhyped it a little too much, because I did find it hard to get started. Like, feeling that first page intimidation, you know? So, as you probably already saw in the clips, I started by typing it. I thought I was going to type it, because usually for a 0 draft, I write it fast enough to where I can type it. The words suck, but the story's there, and that's what matters. This time around, I also ended up handwriting it. What's new? I never thought I would be a big advocate for handwriting. It's so weird. I have like literally the worst handwriting on planet Earth. I never thought that I would like handwriting. And here I am. Every book that I write now, I have to handwrite it first. It's so weird. I don't know. Anyways, here's the notebook. She's been through it. Like, it's got little dirt specks all over the front. The sticker I got while on vacation, a cat sticker that my sister gave me, and my pen. This is how far into the notebook I am, so a little less than half. Once I did start handwriting, things started going a little more smoothly, a little less intimidated, because it was on the page. I don't know how that works, but it does. And by smoothly, I meant that I was able to write pretty much every day. I would just chip away at it, little by little. Obviously not the 1,667 that I needed, but, you know, like, we were still working on it every day, which is a big achievement for me right now, okay? And, as you're seeing right now, it's like random location change. I also had to go down to the university that I will be enrolled in next fall, to do university things, to get prepped. There were 2 things on my agenda. One was talk to my counselor of the degree I am studying, to get some clarification about things and figure out what I need to do next, to transfer. And 2, find a place to stay. Find an apartment. Those were the 2 goals. Spoiler alert. I got my questions answered. We got that figured out. Very cute, very fun. And I found a cute little studio apartment, that I have already, signed lease. She's done, that I will be moving into next summer. Look out for a moving vlog then, hopefully. Anyways, that happened in November too. So, had to put it in here. And while we were there, I actually did end up getting some pretty good writing done, which is always nice. The hotel we stayed at had like a giant lobby full of like desks and like games and stuff. Maybe that's normal for hotels. I never stay in a hotel, but this one had like some nice tables and some like little study areas. And then I went to my sister and I was like, you want to just go sit in the lobby and like work on stuff? So we did. It was great. I got some good words in, I think. I don't know. But very soon we were back home, and it was back to it. Okay, hello, hi, happy Nano. I look terrible, I'm aware, and that thing's making noise. I apologize, but it finally feels nice outside here, so I'm taking advantage of it while I can. Oh my god, please don't look at me. Jesus. Anyways, happy Nano. I'm filming this right now on the 12th because I suck at vlogging, apparently, and I don't know how to do that anymore. I am extremely behind. Who's surprised? I don't even know how many words I have. I think I have like 3,500 maybe of the 50k, and like I said, it's the 12th. I should be at like 25,000 words. And that's just not happening. That's not where we are. I am also handwriting it. You probably already saw that. I probably already talked about it. But I'm handwriting it because I think I've just cursed myself at this point. I've handwritten so many times that now I can't write unless it's handwritten. Can't write well, at least. The words just do not come out the same way. So I'm handwriting it. going good so far. I'm not very far at all. As I already said, I'm on chapter 3. Chapter 3 of I don't know how many, because I didn't split it into chapters. I'm just kind of going with the flow and hoping everything goes well. And I am really liking this book so far. I think it's gonna be so fun. Well, I'm excited to put on all the lore that I've figured out for this book because it's a lot. I'm also excited for the new point of view that is in this book because I think it can really tie the story together and can give the reader a lot more context as to what is happening. I'm hoping it'll help me hint at some things that are like cliffhangers for book 3. Right now, however, I'm not super happy with how I'm progressing the plot. Like, obviously I know that what needs to happen next because I outlined it, but how I'm getting there just feels very confused and lost, mostly because I think I found a plot hole already that I need to make sure isn't in book 1. Well, like, the plot hole's not in book 1, I know that for sure, but I need to make sure the information I have right now doesn't conflict with book 1. Yeah, so I'm just writing it how I am right now, and then when I start revising, I will make sure that that's not a plot hole. But that's really tripping me up right now in the scene that I'm writing, because I'm like, what if I'm just wrong? What if this is not even possible because of what happened in book 1 and I just don't remember? But I'm hoping that's not the case. Anyways, this is the setup right now. This is my setup. I'm sitting on fake grass. Sitting on the fake grass. I've got my notebook here that's got like the 10 pages filled out. Got the plot cards, got my trusty pen. I literally have 2 boxes of these because I love these pens so much. Shout out them. Got my elementary school CD player and the albums of choice tonight. Yes. Also matcha, because I would die without it. Literally an addiction. I'm gonna see how much I can write. Hopefully I can finish this chapter because it's actually not much longer than this, and I really want to write chapter 4 while I'm out here as well. Yeah, let's see what happens. Now, like I said earlier, I added 2 new perspectives to this book, giving this book 5 point of views. Okay, they're loose point of views. They're like, I'm not writing in first person, but it's still like we're in the mind of that character. You know how it works. We're in third person, but it's their perspective. Yeah, when I started outlining this book, I thought I was gonna add just one. I was gonna add one. Maybe I was gonna maybe add one, because I knew how this character was going to change by the end of book 2. He was on the main character's team in the previous draft of Project What, and now he's against the main characters. So I wanted to add his perspective so we could see more into the eyes of the enemy, get a little bit more lore on them, because I didn't get to share the enemy lore in book 1 anymore because of how I changed the book, and now I want to get more insight into who these people are and their motivations and stuff. So I was gonna add his perspective. So we could see that. And then I ended up with another character who was supposed to be dead. But I'm keeping him alive because he deserves it. How I kept him alive would connect to one of the other characters, and he's like playing double agent even though he doesn't want to, so I wanted to show his perspective in the book of like being the bridge between these 2 teams, and so I added his perspective too. Also, I just love this character and I wanted to be able to write him more, so I kind of just wanted to dive into his mind and figure out more about this little guy. So I ended up adding 2. So we have the 3 main characters. We have Audi, Jamie, and Elliot, like the 3 from book 1. And then we have these 2 new characters, which have relationships with the main characters, obviously. And they also have a relationship with each other, and they're forming relationships with the other characters as well. It, like, the web is building. So that was what I was excited about the most. Like, I was like ready to, 1, write these new characters and like get into their brains and learn what their voices were like and all that like jazz. And then 2, getting to play with all 5 characters and seeing and seeing what they would do with each other, because people are meeting that I never intended to meet. And it's gonna be very fun. It's gonna be very fun. But it was kind of a struggle at the beginning, when I was still world building and brainstorming and plotting and all that stuff, to figure out how I wanted to write these 2 new characters, because I've been in the heads of my 3 main characters already. We've been together for years, and I mean, like, I've written these other 2 characters and I know like vaguely their personality, because you know, like, they're not center stage, like you just see them a little bit, and now they are center stage kind of sometimes, and it's like, okay, now I need to know just a little bit more about them. Like their motivations, their personalities more. Like obviously you see their personalities in book 1, but like I need to figure out that more in order to figure out their voice. But usually with like character stuff like that, I will just figure it out as it comes to me. Like I don't sit down and force myself to figure it out, because then I don't make a good character. But what I figured out, I think it's good. It's definitely not super like descriptive and like super detailed, but I have a vague and basic idea of what's going on. And the 2 characters don't even have like a super major role, like they don't have huge chunks of the book that are theirs. They're kind of just there to like provide context. And so I'm hoping it'll be easier that way, since they're not like the drivers of the story. Obviously they're gonna influence the story, but they're not the drivers of the story. Hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully it'll be okay, and I'll definitely have to tweak it in the next few drafts as I figure out more about these characters, but right now I think we're doing okay. I don't know. Hi. Happy Nano. It's week 3. It's the 19th. I haven't updated the vlog in a while, like this, or at all. I don't think I have at all. And I also haven't updated the website in a while either, which is not good. I'm gonna update you right now, and I'm gonna update the website right now, before I forget again, because that'll make me mad. Anyways, hello. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages to add to the website, so I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm saying each page is 200 words. That might not be completely accurate. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's not accurate at all, but that's what I said it was gonna be, and that's what it's gonna be. So okay, so words this session, 1800. Feeling good. Extremely behind, obviously. A little embarrassing, but feeling that's terrible. That is actually like look at that. Oh my god. Anyways, so not very awesome looking, but things are going better than I thought they might. I found that I have way more time to write than I thought I would, which the time I thought I would have is no time, so anything's better than 0. Obviously it's not enough to be at 30,000 words, clearly, but I am liking how this is going so far. Handwriting, obviously, I've talked about that literally every time I've been on this vlog, but I think it's helping me sort of figure out the story more as I go, because when I'm handwriting I have to stop and reflect a little more. I have to slow down and think about the words I'm writing more than if I was just typing it up, and I think it's making this draft end up more cohesive than it would have if I was just typing it up, which is fun. Obviously it's still a 0 draft, but it's a better 0 draft than I would have gotten if I didn't handwrite it. Let's see, I started Act 2. That's pretty good. I don't know if I talked about this already, but I have not split up the outline into chapters yet. So I'm on chapter 5. There's only 4 chapters in Act 1 right now. Which that might kind of stay. I feel like Act 1 is just not going to be big at all. I'm assuming maybe this book will have 20 chapters in it with the 0 draft, but I just don't know. Also, my hair looks wild. I just trimmed it and I cut it dry, so it's gonna look weird until I'm able to wash my hair. I have been chipping away at writing. I do maybe like a page or two a day, and that's just been adding up for a while. Some days I am able to like sit down and actually write a fair amount, which is like 5 pages, so fair amount. It's been going, it's slow, it's steady. Am I still hoping that I can finish the draft by the end of the month? Yes. Will that happen? Maybe not. Just chipping away at it, letting it happen. Not gonna stress out too much about it, because when I stress out about it, it turns into a pretty nasty draft, and I don't want that to happen. Don't want that to happen. It's gonna be nasty, but I don't need to make it worse, you know? Anyways, that's my update. 1,800 words that I just didn't put in the website for like 3 days because I'm smart. Yeah, good night. All right, but after that, pretty much the month just like flies by. The rest of Nano is just like passing me by like nothing. We had Thanksgiving, which one of my favorite holidays. Come at me. Not the history behind it. I mean the food. I love the food. Some people hate Thanksgiving food. I adore Thanksgiving food. I've been waiting for this holiday all year. But that came and went, and then Christmas is right around the corner, at least in my house. We start decorating literally right after Thanksgiving. And also finals were happening, so I did manage to squeeze like a little bit of writing in between everything, but obviously not much. Hello. Is the last day of Nano. Oops. When will I ever be able to not say oops during one of these? It's the last day. It is 9:30 p.m. You know how it is. I've done a little bit of writing today, not a ton. I think I've done like 3 pages. I do have more than 3 pages to put into the website because I'm a genius and I constantly forget to update it every night. So I have 8 pages to actually put into the website, which I'm going to do while I'm talking to you guys. Right now I have about 14,000 words in the website, which is obviously not close to the 50K. It is what it is. 1,600 words. Okay, update progress. Cute. I now have 15,000 words in the website. So 15,000 words, not 50,000 words. That would have been awesome if I'd hit that, but I wasn't even expecting to hit that in the whole novel. So, you know, my hopes weren't totally high for that goal. My goal was, however, to finish the novel, at least finish the draft of the novel, have it done, have it ready to rock. That did not happen. Nowhere near that. Plot wise, I just started the fun and games and like I said, I have like 15,000 words in this right now. I'm thinking this will at least be 40,000 because that's how big the first draft of Project What was. It was like 46, 48. So I'm hoping it'll be around there. And I think what happens now is that when I get to the fun and games, when I outline the fun and games, I kind of leave it up to future me to figure out what exactly I want to happen during this part, because the characters control the story. I don't want to shoehorn them into a certain scene or something if that's not what's gonna happen, especially in the fun and games, because I change a lot in the fun and games. Fun and games is like a free-for-all. Anything's gonna happen. So I kind of don't outline the fun and games very much, except for like these are the things that they are doing. Like this is the overall storyline that's happening here. So there's a lot up for interpretation, and now that I'm there, I feel like I'm kind of hitting a wall in trying to figure out how to actually write it, especially because all of this is completely new. Like, at least when I would outline Project What and I wouldn't put the fun and games in, I would still have a general idea of what I wanted to do, as in like the information I wanted to convey, the story, like what endpoint I needed. And this time around, that is not the case. I know what information I want to convey, but overall, I know what I need to tell the readers. But what order? How? When? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just finished one scene that I'm not a huge fan of, whatever, it's the 0 draft. And now I have to work on the scene where the main character of this book sees land that isn't his home island, and the island that they live on is man-made, so it's like all business. There's like no like nature, it's just a place for people to live. It is a chunk of land to keep people alive for the first time in his life, because they've been on this island for like a century. So for the first time in his life, and something that like almost no one gets to do, he sees land, actual land from the earth that the earth made, and it's overrun. It's overrun by nature again, because humans have basically abandoned the rest of the planet, and he gets to see that in this scene for the first time. I want to portray that like shock and awe, that like it's like you're seeing like an alien world almost, because of, you know, how they grow up in like this literally like a concrete jungle, you know, and now he's seeing an actual jungle with like animals and like a ton of different plants. It's a big scene, okay? It's a big part. It's like almost a turning point for this character, where this is going all over the place, I'm sorry, but he is leaving the island to get away from problems that arise in the first book, problems that arise with another character, and he just wants to distance himself from it. He wants to get away from it. He wants to forget. He leaves for that reason. He has no other goals at the time. And then he sees this for the first time, and he realizes that there's something out here for him, that like he could do something with this. That first impression is very important. That needs to be written at least a little well, probably not very well, because once again, 0 draft, but a lot of pressure on this scene, and I don't even know how I'm gonna start it. So, you know, on here as well, since I'm here and we're chilling, I also wanted to say that I will be continuing this story into December, and I'm hoping, since I'll actually be on winter break for the second half of the month, that I will be able to finish the rest of the book, the rest of this, before the end of the year. I will be continuing with like some Project Moss content into the end of the year, because I want it to be done before January 1st, just a nice cutoff date. It's like ending 2023 with a finished draft. That would be amazing. I guess it's 2 finished drafts, because I finished draft 3 of the first book, but like ending the year having freshly finished a draft, that would be great. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm gonna see what I can do with this scene, and yeah, hopefully y'all had a good month. I mean, I did. Doesn't look like it on the website, but I'm loving this story so far. Anyways, back to it. The month ended way sooner than I thought it would. I don't know why. And here are my final stats. Here are my final everything for the month. Do not be prepared to be amazed. They are very small numbers. But my ending word count was 15,400 words. Nowhere close to the 50K, but not bad. not bad at all. I am not complaining. Especially since last year when I tried to write this book, I stopped at 6K. So, you know, a little more than double. Not bad. Not bad at all. And this is also a handwritten estimate. I will show you. This is what we're estimating off of, which was definitely an overestimate because I need that. So it probably wasn't even 15K when it comes down to it, but we're gonna pretend that there's 15,000 words in this notebook right now. And then in perspective of the outline and the 15 beats, if you're familiar, because I still structure everything off of that, I am in the fun and games. I just started the fun and games. So that's where we are story-wise. I would say probably I'm a little more than a third of the way through, but like not a lot because I put a lot in the fun and games. But that's where I am plot-wise so far. And I'm thinking this draft will cap somewhere around 50K, probably less, because I am an underwriter, and none of my first drafts, or 0 drafts, have ever been over 50K, ever. So it'll probably be around the 50K mark, like everything else. I will be surprised if it's more, but who knows? Who knows? And then also, side note, if you couldn't catch on already, I am loving this draft so far. Obviously, it's not like 10 out of 10 because it's a 0 draft, but comparing this to the draft that I was writing last year, this is literally perfect. This is a perfect novel. Only compared to the one that I was writing last year. Like, it's very relative, but this, even with how little I've written so far, I am loving her. She's great. She's so fun. The only problem I have with it, I already talked about it, but is the fact that so much of this book is new. Like, okay, it's obviously new. It's a new book, but I mean like the concepts in it. Like, some of it is stuff that we kind of see in book 1, so like it's a little easier to write in book 2 because it's familiar to me, but so much of this book is nowhere near what was going on in book 1. So it's a lot of new stuff, which is a little daunting, and that takes a little bit longer to write. That's my only complaint right now, is the fact that I need to figure out new stuff for a new book. Like, oh, woe is me. But anyways, moving forward, the book isn't done. What are we gonna do now? You feel? My goal, my goal for this book is to be done with it by the end of the year. I will be out of school. I literally, right now, present day me has 1 more lab to finish before I'm done with the semester. So after that, I will have the rest of the year, rest of the year seems very dramatic, the rest of the month to focus on writing this book. So hopefully I can just crank it out in the last few weeks of the year and finish 2024 with a new 0 draft complete, you know, like that would be so great, just to start 2024 on a clean slate, no projects we're still working on, just like starting fresh. And I will hopefully have a vlog out about her and finishing the draft soon as in like next year. Stay tuned for her. She's not done clearly, but she will be back and better than ever. But that is it. That's all. How did your NaNoWriMo go? Did you hit the 50K or any other like fun notable goals that you want to share? Let me know in the comments, and hope to see you in the next one. Peace.